Are you ready for a great adventure? Today on The World is Yours. We're going to take a tour of the fabulous and exotic city known as Istanbul in Turkey. Istanbul was once known as Constantinople, and it curiously belongs to two continents, Europe and Asia. Then we'll travel to Dubai, a truly unique and exciting treasure that awaits us on the coast of the Persian Gulf, where we'll be dazzled by its technology, architecture, and natural beauty. Finally, we're off to Las Vegas, Nevada, one of the top cities that is chosen by the movie industry each year as a background for new and entertaining stories. So get ready, because our journey is about to begin. The world is waiting, and the world is yours. Welcome to Istanbul, the most populated city in Turkey. And because it's the historical, economic, and cultural center of the country, it is often thought to be the capital of Turkey. But the capital is actually Ankara, located southeast of Istanbul. A very long time ago, Istanbul was known as Byzantium, and then later as Constantinople after the Roman Emperor Constantine. Istanbul is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Its splendid artistic value and its peculiar location give the city an exotic personality that every year draws almost 10 million tourists. There are many ways to enjoy Istanbul, starting with a visit to a different mosque every day and being able to examine the city's Islamic culture more closely. You can also tour the city through its bazaars and spice shops, a journey that will awaken all your senses. Don't hesitate for even 1 second to explore the varied flavors offered by Istanbul's food, or attend one of its recognized musical shows with traditional dances. Besides that, sailing through the Bosphorus is a ride that will help you understand and appreciate the diversity of this magical city, where you'll have the opportunity to travel along the waterway that separates its European part from its Asian side. The Bosphorus is a strait that connects the Black Sea with the Sea of Marmara and is popularly known as the Istanbul River. There you will find two suspension bridges with a similar length of about 2 miles. The 15th July Martyrs Bridge and the Fatih Sultan Mehmed Bridge. The boat ride unquestionably represents one of the tourists' preferred activities. Be it day or night, the views along the Bosphorus are unforgettable that will almost make you feel like you're in a fairy tale. On the European side, numerous fortresses and palaces from the Ottoman era will delight you. On the Asian side, the site of Istanbul, populated by domes and minarets, a really unparalleled view will surprise you. This tour lasts approximately 6 hours and is worth every minute. Once on board, you can get off at different stops to take a closer look at Turkish history. Our tour of Istanbul continues through the Blue Mosque, right in front of Santa Sofia, and separated by a small park with fountains where the book and souvenir sellers try to convince every traveler to buy something. The Sultan Ahmed Mosque, as it is officially known, is also called the Blue Mosque because of the blue, hand-painted tiles on the inside walls. It's the only mosque in the city with 6 minarets. Minarets are the towers of a mosque from where people are called to pray. It was built by Sultan Ahmed I between 1609 and 1616 and was inaugurated in 1617. Once inside, the experience is unequaled. 4 large columns rise to support the 4 main domes and 8 secondary domes in this truly magnificent structure. The incredible panorama of this prayer room will amaze you. The illumination of the mosque comes from its more than 200 stained glass windows as well as the many chandeliers that hang from the ceiling. The Blue Mosque in Istanbul is a living, working temple, open every day to worship. As in the rest of the city's mosques, in order to enter, you must wear the appropriate clothing and take off your shoes. Women must cover their shoulders and hair. The days and nights in Istanbul are very lively. This rhythm is reflected in the Grand Bazaar, or Sabbatical, one of the biggest and most popular bazaars, which is an enclosed market in the world. It's made up of more than some 60 alleyways and almost 4,000 shops. Every day, many thousands of tourists come here looking for the best deals. The Grand Bazaar of Istanbul was opened in 1455, making it one of the oldest covered markets in the world. It's the first shopping mall in history. This bazaar can be found in the center of the old city on the European side. Despite its huge size, it is easily accessible through 22 gates. Simple enough to find your way since the alleyways are named after the products sold along the way. Inside the bazaar, there are all kinds of shops, 2 mosques, and 2 hammams, as steam baths are called in Turkey. There are also cafes and restaurants, and all of the financial businesses you could want, such as banks and money exchange houses. In Sabbatica's Central Dome, you will find the most important shops that sell copper items, pearl-encrusted mirrors, and gold jewelry with coral and pearl inlays. And here's a very important tip. Don't accept the first price you hear from the seller. If you bargain with him, you will surely make a good deal. And don't worry about communicating with them. In general, the sellers speak several languages, including English. Pretty amazing place, isn't it? So, here we finish this wonderful journey. We'll be back. But first, let's test your world knowledge. Where in the world are the ATMs that distribute gold? A. South Africa. B. Dubai. C. Milan. D. California. The answer coming up when we return to The World is Yours. We're back. Previously, we asked this question. Where in the world are there ATMs that distribute gold? A. South Africa. B. Dubai. C. Milan. D. California. Do you know the answer? If you chose option B, Dubai, you're right. This particular ATM gives out solid 24-karat gold bars of up to 10 grams. And it updates its prices every 10 minutes according to international markets. So now, Dubai is our second destination for today. It's located on the coast of the Arabian Gulf in the Arabian Desert in the United Arab Emirates. It has a total area of 1,588 square miles and almost 3 million inhabitants. Their culture is clearly Islamic, and that can be seen in the ways they dress, their traditions, art, and literature. Dubai's luxurious architecture is what causes the great impression because of the contrast that fuses styles of other regions. Perhaps that's why Dubai is the city with the most avant-garde architecture in the world and is ranked 3rd in the world for its sheer number of skyscrapers. Like the Caliph Tower, the tallest building in the world with a height of 2,717 feet, if you don't count the antenna. More than 12,000 people from 30 countries participated in the construction of the building. It takes a 36-member crew almost 4 months just to clean the outside. Can you believe that? The Burj Al Arab Hotel, the only 7-star hotel in the world, will also impress you. And it's shaped like a sailboat. Like every city, Dubai has its icons, and we shouldn't forget the Emirates Tower. With a very similar structure, one of the towers houses offices, and the second, a recognized 5-star hotel. If you like these buildings, wait till you see the Cayenne Tower, the tallest spiral building in the world, twisting 90 degrees as it goes up. It's a residential building located in the Dubai Marina, the last of the developed areas in the city, near an extensive artificial waterway that establishes it as one of the most pleasant areas to walk and admire such a modern landscape. Another must-see is the aquarium, where you can see numerous and splendid ocean species through a glass tunnel. The Dubai Aquarium is the largest aquarium in the world. It holds the World Guinness record for the length of its acrylic panel. This gigantic aquarium houses more than 30,000 animals of more than 140 species, with 300 sharks among them. And if you want, you can get in and swim with these imposing friends. Do you dare? The Dubai Aquarium is made up of 3 ecological zones: the living ocean, the coastal cliffs, and the tropical rainforest. The guides will be with us along the walk. You'll also find friendly penguins, not so friendly crocodiles, exotic giant catfish, water rats, seals, and arrowhead frogs. All these species and more coexist in this incredible place. Now, it's time for a change from wet to dry, ocean to desert. One of the favorite activities for tourists in Dubai is a desert safari. Jump in a 4x4 SUV and hit the desert, racing full speed across the open landscape. If you want to feel even more adrenaline, you can rent a quad bike or practice sandboarding on the dunes to have the most fun carving up the slopes like you're at a ski resort. If you prefer a quieter but also unforgettable option, don't miss the camel ride and let yourself be carried away by these friendly and curious animals. Whatever you decide to do, you'll have the unique opportunity to admire a sunset in the desert, to dine under the stars, and be entertained with different traditional shows, among them belly dancing. Since we're talking about stars, imagine for a second all the ones you could see if you spent a night in the desert. This is possible. Star observation has a very significant value in the history of Arab countries. So, if you fancy astronomy and decide to spend the night under the starry sky, you can count on your guide to offer you details of how the stars were used by ancient travelers to navigate the deserts and seas. The Dubai Astronomy Group is responsible for organizing astronomy tours, and each guide will install the necessary telescopes and equipment to locate planets, stars, and nebulae, which are particularly indistinct bright areas in the night sky. If you prefer a more independent walk, you will get to put up your own tent near the man-made Al Qudra Lake. You will have an amazing view of the Dubai skyline and a night under the stars you won't soon forget. Well, that ends our tour of this amazing destination. We'll be back, but first, let's test your world knowledge. At nighttime, what is the most visible city on the planet as seen from outer space? A. Paris. B. London. C. New York. D. Las Vegas. The answer when we return to The World is Yours. Welcome back. Previously, we asked this question. At nighttime, what is the most visible city on the planet as seen from outer space? A. Paris. B. London. C. New York. D. Las Vegas. If you guessed D, Las Vegas, you're right. Our next destination can be seen clearly from outer space. Las Vegas is the brightest city on the planet, and you'll see why. Surrounded by mountains, Las Vegas has unquestionably become the center of tourism in the United States. Located on the eastern edge of the Great Mojave Desert within the state of Nevada, Las Vegas always offers something new to attract tourists. It manages to reinvent itself and to renew itself continuously and its repertoires vary from great familiar spectacles like Cirque du Soleil to great comedy shows, concerts, and impersonators from all eras, even keeping the legendary Elvis Presley alive. In order to have an initial impression of all the lights that can be seen from high above the city, we will take a walk through the most brilliant and famous hotels that you surely remember from Hollywood movies. A good starting point for getting to know Las Vegas is its themed hotels, like Hotel Paris, that has managed to bring the essence of France and represent it thanks to its cuisine and its emblematic Eiffel Tower. The Luxor Hotel is better known as the Great Pyramid of Las Vegas, and it's become one of the most outstanding symbols of this city thanks to its remarkable Egyptian architecture. You will also have the opportunity to discover the secrets of the Roman Empire if you pass by the famous Caesar's Palace. Or you could go to the nearby Venetian, one of the most luxurious in Las Vegas, and inspired by Italy with its gondola rides, food, and traditions. The list of hotels is wide, but we can't leave out New York, New York, inspired by the Frank Sinatra song. And its theme will make us feel like we're in the Big Apple or New York City. Another Las Vegas classic is the MGM Grand, the largest hotel in the city and the largest in the world until 2006. And then there's the Stratosphere. It's the most famous tower in the area because it functions as a hotel and an amusement park. At 1,148 feet tall, the Stratosphere is the tallest structure in Las Vegas and in the entire state of Nevada. The tower was inaugurated on April 30th, 1996. On the roof, there are 2 observatories, a spinning restaurant, and 4 insanely thrilling rides. The Big Shot will catapult you up the highest tower. Insanity the Ride, at 900 feet high, is ranked the 3rd highest thrill ride in the world, where you hang over the edge of the tower and then rotate at 40 miles per hour. Wow! The views from the Stratosphere are magnificent at any time of the day, but we'll go there at the best time of day, the most recommended by thousands of tourists who have seen it, when the sun goes down and the lights start to illuminate Las Vegas under the night sky. Don't go away, because The World Is Yours will be back. But first, let's test your world knowledge. In which city can we find the largest chocolate fountain in the world? A. Amsterdam. B. London. C. Mexico City. D. Las Vegas. The answer when we come back to The World Is Yours. We're back. In the previous segment, we challenged your knowledge with the following question. In which city can we find the largest chocolate fountain in the world? A. Amsterdam. B. London. C. Mexico City. D. Las Vegas. And the correct answer is D. Las Vegas. The chocolate fountain of the Jean-Philippe Patisserie at the Bellagio Hotel holds the Guinness record for being the largest chocolate fountain in the world. The fountain is over 26 feet high and circulates over 2,000 pounds of chocolate. Now we'll take a tour of Lake Mead, the largest lake and artificial reservoir in the United States. It is located on the Colorado River, 24 miles southeast of Las Vegas, just between the states of Nevada and Arizona. Aqueducts send the lake's water to communities in Southern California, Nevada, and Arizona. It has 247 square miles of surface area, which is 10 times greater than Manhattan. Besides that, Lake Mead offers a wide variety of activities. You can go boating or water skiing, swimming, scuba diving, or simply relax in the sun. With almost 760 miles of coastline, the lake will satisfy your every desire to have a great time. And to end this wonderful destination, we will go to the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam is one of the most important engineering works of the 20th century. Built during the Great Depression between 1931 and 1936, the Hoover Dam created Lake Mead and now supplies electricity to the states of Nevada, Arizona, and Southern California. It's responsible for lighting up Las Vegas. Although there are different types of tours to visit the Hoover Dam, probably the most interesting is the power plant tour that lasts about half an hour. On this tour, you'll see the turbine room where the power is generated, and you'll get an appreciation for the importance of the dam and the landscape that surrounds it. Well, that wraps up our journey for today. We traveled through magical Istanbul, took a fascinating tour of Dubai and its desert skies, to then cross the planet to take you to the bright lights of Las Vegas. There are many more adventures to come. Until next time, the world is waiting and the world is yours.